As we mentioned coming out of our headlines here, it's time for a chat with Mike Barrett from Barrett Insurance Agency. It's a little bitty we call Good Policies.
Good policies. How we doing?
Oh, man, are you kidding me? You just came in from outside. How do you think we're doing? It's gorgeous.
It's getting hot out. I'm not happy about it.
I'll take the fleece off or whatever it is.
I'm totally kidding. I am so excited about this. It's awesome.
It's
awesome.
gorgeous. Okay, so what we do, folks, we talk about insurance because it's something that not many of us understand, and that's why we talk face-to-face with an agent like Mike.
Sure.
All right, so
Hoping that I understand.
well, you do, and you've also brought a lot of understanding to the table here. You and I were just talking here. We're going to talk homeowners insurance policies this morning.
Yes.
Okay. So yesterday, Mark Breen, coming out of the weather forecast at 20 after 7, said, all right, folks, remember, it's really dry out there. Don't burn anything. There's a big threat for brush fires, right? So we come in this morning, we have 2 news stories about brush fires.
Yeah.
Okay. A little while back, here's another thing that I'm pretty sure we're going to tie in here. A little while back, we had some wind storms, and people have seen these commercials
Trees
on
coming
TV.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mayhem.
These all lead us to our discussion on
Yeah.
homeowners insurance.
We can have a quick 2-hitter this morning. That's not a problem. So let's start with the one that happened earlier. So let's start with the trees.
Okay.
So thank you to you. So a press release was sent out, and you forwarded it to me, which
Yep.
I appreciate very much. And it's almost a misleading headline. It says, tree care accidents, when are homeowners liable? And as I read through, I was waiting to see, when a tree falls, who's responsible. But now, as I read the article, it was, here are some things you should look out for as you're hiring somebody to come take care of trees. So it was a little misleading in that regard. But you know what? I can hit both of those very quickly.
Okay. It's
So-
what we want.
Let's talk about the trees falling down. All right. So I have a tree on my property line. A storm comes through, the tree goes down and lands at my neighbor's house or in my neighbor's yard.
On their car, their brand new
Car.
Lexus.
Who's liable?
Well, Mother Nature isn't, that's for sure.
I'm not if. All right. And that's the thing. If that tree was a healthy tree and there was no known reason or no known issue with that tree, such as it having disease or being aged where it really should have come down and I was aware of it, it's not on me as the person who owns the property that the tree came from.
Okay.
So the cleanup, removal, not going to be covered by anything. It will be covered by the if it lands on the person's home or car, of course, their insurance will kick in, but their insurance will not come back to me and say, well, since it was your tree, you owe us. They're not going to do that because there was no negligence, no proven negligence on my side.
Now,
Go to the aged or diseased tree, and I've been neglecting
Yep.
taking it down. They could come back after me and say, well, due to your negligence, your failure to take care of what was going to be considered a known issue, we are going to come back at you. So it can go back after my homeowner liability.
Okay, so is this in regards to, say, an act of nature, like the wind blowing a tree down?
Anything.
Okay, so then let's go to where you started out here, where if you hire somebody
Yes.
to come trim that tree because it has a weak limb.
Right. And what I like about this article is what it states is true about any time you have a contractor of any kind on your property. All right. So as you're looking for a reputable company, a crucial step is to have them provide to you a certificate of liability and workers' compensation insurance if they have employees. So if you hire a company without that insurance or has inadequate insurance, you could be held liable for accidents or injuries, and you could have no means of recourse if your property is damaged through their efforts. Blood from a stone. So if they don't have insurance, the only way you could really go after them would be personally. And if they have no insurance covering them, then you're only going to be able to go after their assets. So that's one thing you really want to think about when you're talking about roofing contractors, those working on your home, and tree removal especially. Since that's pertinent to this conversation. But you want to make sure that they're reliable. You want to make sure that you're also taking care of the property so that there wouldn't be a case of negligence on your end, even if they have all the proper insurance, where an injury could be caused to them or one of their employees by being at your property.
Hey, man, it's Tree. I'm sorry about last night when that branch fell down on the roof of your car. Remember that commercial?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's your quick hits on trees. Let's talk about
Brush
Don't-
fires and stuff like that.
don't burn.
Yeah,
Don't burn. It's amazing to think because right now you're like, well, there's still tons of mud. There's still snow in spots. That's wet. This sun is coming in and drying the ground very quickly. So while the ground underneath is wet, the top part is a tinderbox. It's brown grass. It's dead grass that hasn't gotten green yet. And as a result, it is a tinderbox.
Why are they burning it? Because it burns.
It burns,
If it was
right.
green, it wouldn't burn as well.
I live in Waterford, and we've had two fires in Waterford, 2 grass fires in 2 days,
Wow.
back to back. So don't do it. Also, the wind is there, so it's going to push it fast. But let's talk about it. So you are out there, and you go, you know what? I'm going to not heed anyone's cautions, and I'm just going to burn some grass today, or debris that I've worked up. Maybe you've trimmed trees, and you just want to get rid of it all. It's a good thought, and I understand why you're doing it. Don't. But let's say it does go into a situation where now it burns, and now it's an out of control burn, and now the fire department's coming. So now it's threatening your house. Is your house going to be covered?
Or the
Because you
neighbor's
start
house.
or your neighbor's house, which was the case yesterday. I was reading the newspaper this morning. It sounds like it was encroaching upon some neighbors' properties in the St. Johnsbury fire. So that's really an interesting question because, could it be proven? Let's go to your house. Your house, yeah, it'd be covered because fire is fire. You intentionally set the fire, but not with the intent of burning your house down, which would lead to a possible exclusion of coverage. But yes, you would be covered. Your autos, if they were impacted, yes, they would be covered as well because fire is fire. If your neighbor's house has issues and catches ablaze, yes, their homeowner's insurance will cover it. But the thing that I haven't wrapped my brain around yet, but I would assume is the case, is if your negligence in causing a fire without a fire permit in this type of weather burns your neighbor's house down and their insurance pays for it, I would expect that the insurance company would come back after you and say, well, you're liable, so you're going to give us back what we just paid. So it's very possible. So you want to keep that in mind of what could be a possibility of considered negligence through that process.
Well, in the legal variables, too, of did they have a permit? Did they not have a permit? Did they have a garden hose around? Did
Right.
they, were they able to put it out? So, I mean, these are the questions. Nobody wants to ever have to deal with, a loss, whether it's from fire or anything. with their
Exactly.
home.
Yeah.
But you gotta talk to somebody that knows. Don't just assume. That's why we call it good policy.
And honestly, I mean, the biggest thing to remember is this is why you need to have a fire permit before you do any kind of a burn, because they wouldn't be issuing you one because of the current conditions, which would have been your first inclination that, okay, well, I guess I can't. So not that anybody out there is doing anything, willfully and trying to be bad. I think it was all for good intents and purposes for them to be doing what they're doing. So I'm not trying to put blame on them or anything, but it's something to think about.
Well,
because I've almost done the same thing in my house when I trimmed my apple trees one year. I'm like, I could just torch all this and to be all set. And then I thought, no, not today.
All right, so this has been Good Policies. Tell everyone how they can get their questions answered.
Sure. Give us a call, 748-5224. Visit our website, thebarrettagency.com, or visit us at Portland Street in St. Johnsbury, right between Beacon Realty and Union Bank. And we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Google as Barrett Insurance Agency.
All right, if anybody ever comes in halfway through one of our chats, they can check that out on YouTube, right?
Absolutely. Oh, any one of the things I've mentioned. Yeah, it's on all of it.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. You enjoyed the sunshine today?
I am out of here.
All right, Good Policies, part of Magic in the Morning, and so is great music. We've got Matt Kearney coming up next.